So you're thinking about moving to Minneapolis, Minnesota? Well, in today's episode, we're gonna let the maps do the talking and our fingertips do the walking. We're gonna walk you around the city of Minneapolis, show you the sections of it, right? It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be a blast, and we're gonna get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in Minneapolis, Minnesota, well, you found the right place. Click that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and smash that like button on the way in so you can be the first one to know about the current market in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, my name is Garrett Hilton. We get calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking for help on making their move to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We would love the opportunity to make your move to Minneapolis a smooth one. Oh, and don't forget, all of our information is in the description below. All right, guys, we got a lot of content that we got to cover today, a lot of information, so buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be a blast. And we're going to head right over to, I'm going to actually share my screen with you so we can kind of walk through together with our fingertips on Google Maps. Okay. All right. So Minneapolis is kind of what started it all. In 1858, essentially this, like everything happened in 1858 with Minnesota. James J. Hill was setting up factories. I mean, like there was a lot going on. And Minneapolis and St. Paul are what started it all. And there's, rightfully so, there's a lot of really, really cool places to visit that are both historical and interesting stuff to do as far as nightlife. So let's jump right into that, okay? Minneapolis, as I've got it outlined here, is pretty large. You've got the Mississippi River that runs right through it. So there's a lot of river town type of stuff that happens as well, because we had a lot of industry that rolled on through, and we had factories like the Pillsbury factory, Pillsbury Doughboy, and all that kind of stuff. When you think of Minneapolis, that's one thing to think of. We did a lot of grains, a lot of flour shipment stuff many years ago, and I think to some extent we still do a large amount. Of course, many of the other states around us are that are a little more, I'd say, hotter climate, warmer climates that are much more flat states and don't have so many lakes. They do a lot better than we do because they got thousands and thousands of acres of farmland that they can farm without having to go around lakes, rivers, and things to that effect. So the cities that do surround, or the suburbs that do surround Minneapolis, places like Robinsdale to the north, Columbia Heights to the north, Golden Valley to the west. Golden Valley was a more upper echelon area back in the day. St. Louis Park still has a very, very high per dollar, or per dollar per square foot of value as it relates to their taxes, as it relates just in general what it costs to live there. Edina is on the southwest corner of Minneapolis, which kind of brings us into South Minneapolis, directly to the east of Edina, and right below it being Richfield, Bloomington. Fort Snelling Park is right over to the southeast of Minneapolis proper. You got Highland Park, which is kind of more so like a neighborhood, and you're kind of getting into the St. Paulish area, and or not ish, you're getting into St. Paul, Minnesota. McAllister Groveland, we talked a lot about St. Paul and did a map tour of that in another video, so make sure you check that one out. More to the central part that kind of caps off a portion of Minneapolis and St. Paul would be Roseville, Minnesota. I'll show that in just a second. St. Anthony is to the northeast of Minneapolis, and there's a couple of quadrants that I would like to talk about. You've got northeast Minneapolis, which is right over here, and I think we'll do red. Yes, we will do red, and red is chosen. So we've got
well, I guess we're going with black. So we're going to go with black today. Northeast Minneapolis is kind of like that. You've got Uptown, just kind of right there. South St. Paul, I kind of messed that up, but that's okay. South St. Paul is right there. Powderhorn Park is right over here. In this area, this quadrant, which would be like Cedar Avenue-ish along 55. And there is, so it's basically like 5 major parts, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about the real estate that is available as far as twin homes, condos, townhomes, and then single family homes to kind of give you an idea what may fit in with your budget. All right, so let's see what we've got active and get an idea what the price ranges are. And Minneapolis is a very, very large city, so there's a very wide range. And we're going to go with what kind of construction, and it'll be previously owned. And let's click on just twin homes, see what we got. Not seeing any twin homes that are being advertised as twin homes. So we're going to hop up to condos. Condos, there's 429. That's a lot of condos. All right, so let's take a look at the available condos that are in Minneapolis proper, just to kind of give you a flare of the value ranges. The cheapest condo that's available is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Minneapolis, right off 40th Street currently, and that is $69,500. And let's go to the most expensive. Is 18 pages of them. The most expensive condo, what is it? Drum roll, please. $6,900,000 for that condo. Let's you know what? Let's take a look at this. That's a lot of money for a condo. Let's read about it. Incredibly rare opportunity to own one of the only penthouses atop the brand new Four Seasons private residences. One of a kind, completely customizable penthouse available at Minnesota's only 5-star hotel and residence. 18-foot ceilings and floor-to-ceiling windows showcase panoramic river and city views like no other perspective. Oh my gosh. Let's pull the picture up. That is crazy. It's not even finished. What? That's insane. It is panoramic. That is nuts. You got your own private, like, veranda, rooftop veranda. Dude, these views are insane. Oh my gosh. So in another video, and I will do another video of this one. It will be awesome. I'm definitely going to do a video of this. This is an absolutely insane view. You can see the Twin Stadium. Dude, this is crazy. I love this. This is so neat. Wow, look at the river valley. Dude, really, really cool. Love that. Okay. So as far as condos go, from 69,000 all the way up to 6,900,000. And I would say probably like the average between like 300 and 500,000. That's probably around the averages. So you have a smattering of stuff that's both in downtown directly, and then of course in the surrounding urban suburbs of Minneapolis. And then you've got the surrounding suburbs of Minneapolis that are considered the suburbs. They're still quite a bit more urban, like Columbia Heights is quite a bit more suburban. But as you get closer to Minneapolis, it's much more, and we'll splash over to the map. You got Columbia Heights up here. It's much more urban right around this area. If you look at like Columbia Heights from about 37th on southward from there, it gets quite urban, meaning it's very much like being in like northeast Minneapolis. So definitely a cool area. Same thing with like Robinsdale, St. Louis Park, Edina, and Richfield. As you go further out, they get quite a bit more suburban. They're no longer on an alley. You've got attached garages and much wider and deeper lots that are available. However, the taxes do get quite a bit higher as you start to go out of the city, which may seem a little bit odd. And however, it kind of makes sense because more of the land is being utilized for each lot. So therefore, your taxes are going to be a little bit higher. It also depends on the amenities of the community. Edina generally and historically has been a much more upper echelon kind of an area where they built fancier homes. Why? Because it was really close to downtown and it was an option for those that didn't want to live right in the urban suburban neighborhoods. They wanted an attached garage. So that was one of the major benefits of getting, as they started developing the west southwest suburbs. Let's hop back over to the results. Let's go to criteria and let's get rid of condos and let's go to townhomes. What do we got in Minneapolis for townhomes? We've only got 33 of them that are currently available. And so if you want to live the life where it's a little more suburban feeling, you're going to have likely an attached garage to the bottom of your place or have it be underground, like one big one and then like a 3-story townhome complex. They will be higher association dues, and that's, I want to mention that's something to consider when you're talking about a townhome. So you may be spending $300,000 and you're like, wow, I get like 1,800 square feet for that. It's like, yes, you do, which is great. And however, you're going to be paying anywhere from $300 to $600 every single month, no matter if you have a mortgage payment or not, to support the townhome association that's going to plow the streets that are both private and the public right in front of your townhomes and your driveways and such. Maybe do some shoveling. Some of them offer that, some of them don't. As well as they're going to mow the grass for you. Additionally, they're going to tend to like the trees and all those types of amenities, the natural amenities that are generally installed right as they finished up the townhomes and stuff within a couple of months after they were new. And so if it's an older townhome complex, you're going to have really, really big, beautiful trees. If it's a younger townhome complex, normally there's those spindly 2-inch ones that are standing up that they would purchase in mass. They come in on a semi and then they install them all with like a bobcat or something like that as they're putting everything together and putting in the sod. So let's look at the cheapest one that we got in Minneapolis. Drum roll, $168,750. Wow. Okay, so we got 25. So we got 2 pages of these. And on the second page, the most expensive townhome is 8 Grove Street, and it is currently listed for $1,200,000. There's only 1,800 finished square feet. Oh my gosh, it's really crazy. Oh, these are beautiful buildings. Man, whew, look at that. Makes me think of an old-timey, like European kind of a flair and feel. Oh, that is fancy. Look at this. Oh, my Lanta. It was built in like 1899 or so, 1890. Total period. Wow, that is so ornate. Yeah, only if it has 24 karat gold chandeliers. Yeah, like, no kidding. Straight up 24 karat gold, probably chandeliers. That is nuts. Oh, that is just decadent. My goodness. Wow, that was fun. Oh my gosh. And let's hit up the townhomes, or regular single family homes now. How about that? Sound good? And let's see how many single families are available. 402 single families available. What's the cheapest one right now? Let's take a look at agent display. Cheapest one, that's a house, is $129,000. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see, diamond in the rough, cheaper than rent or to be added to your portfolio. Price to sell and selling as is. The majority of remodeling has been done on the home. Bring your buyers to finish off the rest. 129. So this is in the Jordan neighborhood where it will be on an alley. It needs to be repainted, probably needs windows as well. Looks like they got it painted on the inside. Well, that's great. They put new flooring down, so that's cool. All right. So let's jump over and see the most expensive house. How many do we got? We got 17 pages of houses. Let's jump right to the end. The most expensive place in Minneapolis proper is $5 million. So we have a really, really wide range. Properties like this are pretty rare. This custom-built estate showcases coastal-style luxury on the shores of Lake Harriet. offering multiple outdoor spaces. So that's one of the reasons for the high ticket price, is because it is on Lakeshore, right in Minneapolis, right in the center of everything. That's pretty great. And that's a pretty, Lake Harriet's a pretty famous lake. That's pretty fantastic. So, and if you look at, we were talking about taxes earlier, right? So talking about taxes, let's draw on the page right here. Oh my Lanta. The taxes are $60,000 per year. So no matter what, even if you had $5 million to pay this off, you still have to pay almost $6,000 a month for the taxes just to live there. Not an HOA fee, just the taxes. So there's no insurance fee, there is no association fee. Cool, I like that. But you know, for $5 million bucks, you got a pretty fancy schmancy. Oh my Lanta, that place is absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Oh, that's so cool. You can see the band shell from your place, gorgeous front door, beautiful catwalk staircase. The kitchen is absolutely amazing. So you even have like a butler's quarters that's got a little smaller sink area. Oh my Lanta, that is gorgeous. Beautiful bar area right off the kitchen. So great spaces for entertaining. Beautiful blue stain. Oh, that's kind of fun. Blue stain cabinets. Maybe that's paint. Let's look on that. Yeah, that's paint. That's okay. But they carried through with everything being like the bronzy kind of gold with the accents as far as like on the cabinet pulls and the hinges and everything. Very well coordinated. Looks like it was built. When was this built? Oh my goodness. Built in 2020. And it's in the Fulton neighborhood. Oh, what a beautiful property. $5 million. Okay, so again, we have 402 single family homes. And if we were to hop over here and go to, let's say, page 9, to get us more, the vast majority of the properties are going to be anywhere from 400,000 to upwards of 650,000 that are in Minneapolis proper, that don't necessarily need anything to be repaired, fixed up, what have you. Just a beautiful home for you to be able to move into and enjoy. Okay, so let's head over. I need to wake up a little bit. Clearly, one of my favorite things in the world is to be able to stop at coffee shops. As a realtor, we meet a lot of our clients at coffee shops just to check in as kind of like a starting point, like, okay, here's our game plan. And then we go out and look at homes together, whether they ride in my car. Most of the time, I would say nowadays, most buyers wind up working with me. It just occurs to me that they would like to drive themselves. And I think that's a little bit better situation anyways, just because it gets you to be able to start understanding the area a little bit better. And so we're just going to talk about the highlights of the coffee shops that are in Minneapolis property. We'll talk about one that's in the north, one that's in the south, one that's in the east, and one that's kind of right in the middle in the downtown area. First and foremost, I've been there multiple times over my career. Spy House Coffee Roasters in Northeast Minneapolis. Absolutely fantastic location. Spy House is right here. Northeast Minneapolis. We've got Karma Coffee, which is on the northern side of Minneapolis, still in the urban section, and it's kind of got that neat feel. Feels like just a corner store type of a place that's along one of the more major drags or roads in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If we head towards the south, you've got right off Lake Nokomis, you got Nokomis Beach Coffee. Another one's got the bougie drinks, just like Starbucks or whatever. And of course, a smattering of Starbucks, Scooters, Dunn Brothers, kind of peppered throughout. Loon's Coffee is a smaller coffee shop, but has gourmet style coffee drinks, and they're that type of coffee shop that you would go to where they you see them do the thing with the cream on top, so that it makes like a Christmas tree or whatever in your coffee. And so it's kind of a fun environment to both if I wanted to just meet a client there, or for you and a friend that are trying to catch up, haven't seen each other for years. Very warm, very inviting, and also even better is quality product and decent pricing, which is great. And if you're the avid bougie coffee drinker, to be able to go to every day. are on the everyday. Spy House Coffee Chain, we already got that. Let's see, we got Gray Fox Wine and Coffee. So this is kind of fun. It's a coffee shop that does like bagels and small sandwiches in the morning, and then also it generates money from offering very artisan craft wines. So they also have a liquor license, and they're open quite a bit later in the evenings for that crowd. Not much for fare or food as I was looking earlier, and however, just a really, really great place to go to maybe after dinner, after you've already had dinner, go out and have a couple glasses of wine, just to kind of have a nightcap, if you will, or just finish off the evening after a movie. It's a really, really great opportunity. All right, let's take a look at some of the best restaurants in Minneapolis, Minnesota with our Google Maps. And of course, if you want all of the information that's there in the description below, it will help to check out these places if you would like to go check them out yourselves and eat there. Otherwise, we can pick one or two of these to go when we're looking at houses together. So Pizza Luce downtown, fantastic place to get pizza. Phenomenal. Anything as far as salads, whatever. I've tried a multitude of things on their menu. Absolutely delicious, artisan style dining. Super good Italian food. Cafe and Bar La Cat has fantastic reviews, a lot of them, and it's 4.6 stars. That's pretty fantastic. That's the type of a place that gets written up in the Zagat. The Zagat's a magazine about good restaurants, so if you didn't know that. The Melting Pot is another great downtown. This is a total experiential type of a dining place. You get to like dunk like your food in the hot pot or the fondue. Super, super yummy. Really, really great time. Quite expensive, so it's definitely an experience that maybe you'd want to experience with a multitude of people, like 6, 7, 8, maybe 10. They take very, very good care of you as far as having maybe 2 to 3 people that are right there as your dedicated servers, especially when you have a large party of people, and they can handle like reservations of like 20 to 50. It's nuts. Super, super nice place. Chop House in Minneapolis, great place to go. Hell's Kitchen, that's held up over the years. It's been around for quite some time, and it's right in downtown. Great place to go. There's ample parking and a parking ramp. You do have to pay for parking downtown, and it's considering the experience that you can have going to a place like Hell's Kitchen or the Melting Pot, it's definitely worth the investment in parking to be able to go here. You can always use public transit too, and that's an option as well. Okay, one of the major things that I wanted to share with you is parks. You guys, parks are so prevalent in the state of Minnesota because we have such beautiful forests and lakes and rivers. We've got a lot of places to be able to see beautiful, absolutely beautiful outdoorsy type of spots. So let's talk a little bit about that. On the west side of Minneapolis proper is Lake of the Isles Park. It is also pet friendly, and they do have an off-leash section. Lake Harriet Bandshell Park. I was actually in this video showing you a $5 million home, or a $6 million, $5 million home. Yes, a $5 million home that is right on Lake Harriet. And on Lake Harriet, there was in the picture that I showed you, there was a band shell, and that's where a lot of concerts in the park happen during the warmer kind of season, or what we call in Minnesota summer. For any of you that are from either California or Texas or Florida, see our warm weather as like, meh, really? You call that warm? That's nothing. But what we consider to be summer, we have a ton of festivals that happen, and Lake Harriet is no exception to that. They host quite a bit. Let's see, East Phillips Park, it's a little more in the central area, but the cool part is it's got that up north kind of a feel, like it's Northwoodsy kind of an area with tarred trails, good place to run your dogs, take a bike ride with the family, be able to use hoverboards or kayak, and then jump over to like the outdoorsy type of stuff, kayaking, canoeing, and small powered motorboats. Corcoran Park's another great one. It's right off 55. It's actually in a neighborhood, and it's got really, really great playground equipment. What you're going to find about the city of Minneapolis is we've made a major investment in bringing our citizens together around leisure time. And so you're going to see a smattering in just about every neighborhood in Minneapolis. There's always some type of either a place where you could gather family out in nature, or a great park to be able to go to on the daily, maybe to run your dogs or to run the kids, to be able to wear them out before it's bedtime or in the middle of the afternoon before nap time. So that's another great thing about the city of Minneapolis is the amount of parks that we have. Mississippi Gorge Park is absolutely beautiful, has a quite large lake. It's over 400 square miles, and they offer, I mean, my goodness, kayaking, canoeing, all that kind of fun stuff. You can rent that stuff nearby. I'm not sure if they actually have something that's right there that you can rent stuff, but generally it's quite close, or you could have it delivered if you're not the type that would own a truck or an SUV to be able to pull a trailer. Minnehaha Regional Park, another great one in the city. It's got Minnehaha Falls in it. Good place to go and have a family experience, be able to take pictures, spend the day there. There's tons of small restaurants right along Minnehaha Avenue. Great Saturday weekend type of a getaway situation. Lake Nokomis Park, definitely no exception. They have a fantastic beach area that you can go and swim in the lake with your family, or to exercise dogs too. Dogs well, I don't know if you'd exercise cats in water. They generally don't get exercised in the water. But if you like tossing the ball into the water for the dog, there's a specific section for animals to be able to do that. So they're kind of, separate, and not as much interaction between the people's dogs and people in general, so that both we can all enjoy the spaces together. So we've got a few of the parks. Logan Park, we talked about that. Tower Hill Park. Tower Hill Park's another one. Really great slides, swings, all that kind of stuff for the kiddies. It's also got some gazebos so that you could do family gatherings there, create some traditions for you and your family and extended family to do reunions and such. All that stuff can be rented for a nominal fee, and parking, I believe, is a very, very nominal fee. It's not very much if you want to get close, and they do offer free parking. Just got to walk a little ways. Okay, y'all, let's talk about religious centers in Minneapolis, Minnesota. All right, so we got Miracle Redemption Christian Center, Church of St. Bridget of Minneapolis, Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church, Spirit of Truth Worship Center. Cool. That's a Universalist church. I would say, again, for those of you that adhere to Christian religion, there is an absolute massive amount of older churches in Minneapolis that was very, very popular back in anywhere from like the 30s through the 70s. So they built quite a bit of them as they were developing out the neighborhoods. I mean, even ripped down houses to be able to put churches in, and starting to see those buildings age and get a little bit older. And there's other religions that have taken those churches and repurposed them for their religious needs. You got like Imam Islamic Center in Minneapolis. You've got another Islamic Cultural Community Center that's right on the northeast side the east side of Minneapolis, just on the east side of the Mississippi River. Not much really to note down below 394 in Minneapolis, like as far as Uptown and Powderhorn are. So let's say Uptown Religious Centers let's do this, Uptown Religious Centers in Minneapolis, and we'll search. There we go. Okay, so we got First Universalist Church, Word of Faith Christian Center, Holy Rosary Church, Grace Trinity Community Center, Spirit of Truth Christian Center, Urban Life Christian Center. There's a lot of Christian centers that are in southern Minneapolis. A couple of religious centers for Islam, quite a few for the Christian religions and like the different sects of Christianity that are there. I'm actually kind of surprised that we haven't seen a Hmong Christian church or a Buddhist church, because I know that there's one over there. Quite a few, actually. I think there's like 4 of them that are on the southwest side of the cities, and as well as the southeast side. They're just not necessarily advertised on Google, which is kind of strange. I mean, maybe Google is more Christian leaning, not sure. But just wanted to share that. Let's move on, shall we? Let's go to, for you pet lovers, dog parks in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we're going to change this. This is a search, and I wanted you guys to be able to see how I'm doing the searches, because many folks have mentioned to me in the past that they didn't find that one or this one. And I wanted to make sure that I showed, as far as the map video, how I'm searching to find this stuff. Dog parks in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's do that and see what we come up with. All right, cool. Dog parks in Minnesota, right in the heart of Minneapolis. Let's start way at the north. We've got Victory Prairie Off-Leash Recreational Area. So recreational dog park, super awesome. Love those off-leash ones. Loring Park. Loring Park's a great one. You do have to have your have a leash. It does not cost anything to go there, but it's a beautiful, beautiful area in Loring Park, and you're right over by a lot of the art museums and such. Just a very, very nice area. Has some really, really cool steel structure installments that are right over there as far as art goes. And it's a really, really great area to just go have a picnic. You're right by downtown, so you can totally make it a whole day thing. Stone Arch Dog Park, another good one. It's an off-leash. They do have an off-leash area, so I think it's like 10 acres or something like that. Franklin Terrace Off-Leash Dog Park is another one. It is a fenced-in area, so great to be able to socialize, exercise your pups. Kind of makes me wonder. I wonder if you had a pet pig that you wanted to exercise. I wonder if you could do that at a dog park. I wonder if that's a thing. Good question. Comment down below in the comment section if you happen to know if you had a pet pig, if you could bring the pet pig to a dog walking park. That would be interesting to find out. I'm sure it's not a thing, or I'm sure it's not a major thing, but I'm sure it's, to some extent it's a thing, because a lot of people have pigs or different animals. Matter of fact, wouldn't that be cool to have a monkey park? That'd be kind of fun. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's just an idea. All right, so what do we got here? We've got religious places. We've already went through religion. We've talked about restaurants. We've talked about coffee shops. We've talked about, let's see, dog parks. Okay, so let's talk about entertainment last but not least. Entertainment in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis has got so many cool places, so we're not going to get all of them. We're just kind of going to do a high level of downtown and a couple of the things around the area, because for fear of this video becoming a little bit too yawny. And in fact, Yanni, let's talk about Guthrie Theater, Skyway Theater, Downtown Cabaret. Really great places to catch a show on the weekends, even sometimes during the weeks. The Escape Room in Minneapolis, this has become really popular recently. You and a group of people, you get put in a room and you've got to kind of figure out the puzzles to be able to get yourself out of that room. Many of them are multiple rooms, which is super cool and makes it really fun, kind of creepy. Kind of makes me think of the movie Saw. Eugh, I don't know about that. As I understand it, you don't have to worry about dying, but you do have to worry about anxiety and you have to sign a waiver. But definitely a good place to go for entertainment. You and some friends, you and your favorite person. I don't know if you can bring your kids there if it's over 18 only. Dinner Detective Murder Mystery Dinner Show in Minneapolis. It's a smaller location. They offer dinner. You can get free parking. It's kind of cool. It's great for a good date night. Rick's Cabaret, another great one, is like it's basically like a kind of a drag show almost every single night. They do have great drinks, good drink specials, and parking is, however, limited, so you wind up having to park downtown in either the public parking ramps or just finding a place to park on the street. First Avenue, hugely popular for up-and-coming bands. It's so great when you go to First Avenue. It's a great place to catch a concert because it's very intimate, and there's so many stars that have been there over the years. It's crazy, worldly kind of popular. The Uptown in Minneapolis, let's see, Sculpture Garden. I love talking about this Sculpture Garden. Minneapolis Sculpture Garden is an absolutely beautiful place to spend with a loved one, with your family. You've got to experience this when you come to Minneapolis. It's just awesome. Great place for those that are creatives to really get inspired, or for those that just really love looking at people's interpretation of art. Let's see, is it the Granada Theater? Yep. So the Granada Theater is next on the list. We're going to X out of that, and we're just going to like highlight over it. It's in just south of Calhoun Isles, and it is more on like the lower northwest side of Minneapolis. Another great place to be able to go for a show. It's old timey and very vintage, and it's cool. It's just had a great flair and a great feel when you're there. Good to go there, maybe to go to Old Spaghetti Factory after that for dinner, or maybe Old Spaghetti Factory downtown first, then go to the Granada Theater. So great. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode as it relates to Google Maps and doing a little walk around with our fingertips.
Hey guys, Garrett Hilton one more time here. Thank you so very much for checking it out and coming and hanging out with us today this episode. If you got any further questions, we've got a whole playlist of Minneapolis videos that you would absolutely love. So if this is the first one you're seeing, make sure you check out the rest of those ones. And again, thank you so very much for your time, because I understand and we respect that your time is yours and yours alone, and you shared it very generously with us. Again, my name is Garrett Hilton. Thank you very much for watching. You stay classy.